Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Squadcast, this time in the new year. I am your host, CardGamer. I have two of the usual suspects, Phansora and Santa, and then we have one very special guest and my own teammate, Hash. Do you want to introduce yourself, Hash?
Yeah, hi. I've been on one of these before. I'm back. Sorry.
That's true.
Sorry.
Sorry.
Just get ahead of it. That's smart.
Okay, so the holidays did just end. Not too much went on. We've kind of been in the same meta. The one exception to that is Aegis did conclude, which is like one of the bigger amateur tournament leagues that isn't sanctioned by Riot, like officially isn't run by Riot. And
you say that like there's other amateur leagues sanctioned by Riot.
Well, it's like the biggest tournament that isn't like sanctioned by Riot, right? Yeah. Is maybe like the better way to put it. It is like the only tournament league, but it's like probably one of the most competitive and bigger tournaments not sanctioned by Riot. I think Phansora, you've competed in it all the seasons, so have I. Hash, you've done the last two. Santa, you did the last one, and like MR had a squad the first two, so like it's pretty competitive. A lot of big names. Shadawx, who I think will be stopping in later, even won like the first one, like the season 0.
Yep.
And this one, yeah, beautiful gamers. Hash and I ended up winning, along with Floppy Mudcat and Gouda. So that was really cool, and we can talk a bit about that. Yeah. You want to start off talking about that, Hash? Since I know you played so much.
Yeah, I was the most useful member of the team, actually. I went 9-1 in regular season. And then in playoffs, I almost swept BPS. No, wait, that was Floppy, not me. I barely played. My bad. Yeah. I just kept gaslighting CardGamer into playing instead of me because I was too scared. And then we won, so it worked.
True. Yeah. So, yeah, as far as people that don't know, Aegis is like a team league that takes place over, this one was like 9 weeks. So there's like a regular season where you play a bunch of different BO3s against a bunch of different teams, and then you go into the playoffs where you play what is essentially an Iron Man format, 3-on-3. Each player plays until someone gets, until they lose, and then once a team is out of players, they're done. If any of you guys have seen the 1v1 money matches that Shadawx was hosting a while ago, like the NA versus EU or the NA versus China, which we won both of those, right?
Yeah, NA won both. Right?
Yeah.
I think so.
The only international competition we can win, baby. But we're undefeated. Let's fucking ride. Who needs Worlds? Am I right, guys?
It's because didn't Aikado like sweep both, and Aikado wasn't in Worlds.
There we go.
We found the issue. But yeah, so it's like, an Iron Man.
With Aegis, what did you guys do to like? I mean, obviously there's some like luck involved, but like, well, what was your like prep in order to like win essentially?
Way too much.
Yeah,
more than we should have probably.
Yeah, it's definitely way too much prep. So like, one thing that we do that not everyone does is like we try to make sure we're familiar with like every deck that is an option and like not 100% rely on just like ladder stats. We try and like have an opinion of decks and matchups, because like sometimes when you understand how to play certain matchups, they don't exactly go as expected or as intended. And I think like one of my favorite ones to refer to this is like Plunder versus Lee Sin, like way back in the day. Phansora, I'm sure you're pretty passionate about this one. How like Lee Sin is very much favored, even though it's always losing on ladder stats because people just don't understand how to play the control deck as Lee Sin.
Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to remember. You just like bounce Sejuani repeatedly, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, you just bounce Sejuani forever until they run out of like freezes, and then eventually they die. Like how are they breaking through Lee Sin and a bunch of eyes? Like,
exactly.
Plunder's just a glorified Demacia deck, let's be honest.
Secret life hack, Lee Sin can still kick when frozen.
Yeah. Well, Lee Sin in 2023.
Yeah, just Lee Sin, full stop.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Yeah.
Very pertinent facts here.
Lee Sin was so
very
last
helpful.
year. Dude,
Good.
I'm so glad that
Keep 'em
meme
there.
is relevant
Dude.
again, though, like in 2023, because like it's so fresh. Like these champions haven't been playable this year. But anyways, we do a lot of that, and then just like a lot of theory, just like talking through all of the potential options we can do with our lineups, and just like talking through it a lot. Like I think the last 2 weeks for playoffs, we probably spent like at least 10 or 12 hours in a Discord call throughout like the week leading up to it, just like scrimming and bouncing like lineup ideas back and forth, going in circles, just like until we.
No. Hold on. The last week, 10 to 12 hours was a bit on the low end, actually. I think that was one day.
Probably. We probably spent like 10
I
to
think we
12
did 10 hours in
Thursday.
one day.
But earlier that week, we didn't spend as much time as we usually did because it was like the holidays for like
that's
Floppy
true.
and I.
That's true.
But yeah, it was just like a lot of that prep. And then besides that, it's just like a lot of what we've kind of been doing at like Red Pup Games for a lot of this year, which is just like really concentrated work trying to improve and like beyond just trying to find the way to win the most games, but like actually trying to understand like the proper way to play out games, because there's often like and a lot of players have this, but there's like a huge difference in being able to like win against most of the field and being able to win against like other top players. And I think that type of work really paid off in like the playoff type environment and like the Aegis type environment where like everyone's good. Like the bad players are like 300, 200 LP master players, you know? Like it's just a high quality tournament.
Is that like bluffing and reading? The skills are different?
I think it's that, and just also like like when you can like expect your opponent to play properly, you kind of make different decisions and like mulligan differently and have a little bit of a different game plan, you know? Like if your opponent doesn't understand like super important timings on a deck like Red Gwen or Bar, then you can definitely
Especially Bar.
you can definitely like bully them a lot more. And the way you play into them and like you like get the most like percent to win from playing into them is pretty different from someone who is like playing 100% correctly. And it does boil down in simple things like you said, like the hand read, but I think it also can apply to like a more fundamental like game plan perspective of just like if they're missing certain timings, you have different lines open to you now.
Yep.
Okay, one more important question. Who on your team was the one with the crazy deck builds who had to be talked down?
I mean, out of our team of 4, I don't think we had that many of those incidents. Like we had that in the final, but it was the reason we won the final. But we do have other members of the team that come up with a lot of interesting piles.
Yeah.
Sometimes these piles are very good. Most of the times they're not.
Mm-hmm.
That's just deck building, honestly.
Yeah, that is just deck building.
Yeah. That is deck building. One pile that did work out, though, and Hash kind of alluded to it, and it's a deck you may be seeing on ladder now. It's definitely starting to pick up waves the past couple of days, is Gwen Fizz. That's a deck that our teammate Floppy made, and it just kind of fitting the tables. Like, people were testing it the first couple of days after he posted it and having success on ladder, so we scrimmed it and it worked, and, like, did really well for me in Aegis. I was the only one who played it. Did really well. Helped us win it all. And that deck is like, it's good. And it's like a pile that worked.
From the shower to the top of ladder.
Yeah. I think Guda got like 300 LP with it today. He's like top. Is he? I don't know if he's rank 1 because like
he has like 1700 LP.
Yeah, he has a lot.
Guda's rank 2 right now. I think,
I was gonna say he's like top 3. He's up there. And he did a lot of that with Gwen Fizz today. So like the deck is good. I have a guide coming on it soon. If you guys want to check that out. Plug. And I guess like speaking of like Gwen Fizz, and then also just like Gwen Fizz is kind of one of the only new decks we've had pop out recently. Like the meta's been pretty stagnant for a while. And I think like you and I can attest to this, Hash, with like how prep went for Aegis. Like the meta is very defined by 2 pillars right now, which is like especially for tournaments because of how restrictions work, which is like Bandle City PNZ, which is generally like Seraphine Ezreal Bar, but can also be Lulu Jinx, and Aatrox, which is generally Aatrox Vayne, but can also be Aatrox Kayn. And like Aatrox Kayn, Lulu Jinx, a little bit weaker, but they have like different applications that we can maybe explore later. But like ladder's defined by that too, kind of. But like, what are your guys' take on that and like the decks in general?
There is, so like I've been streaming a lot and like playing a bunch of decks because of that, but I like genuinely think that Aatrox Vayne, like there is an argument to say it's the best deck LoR has ever seen. I don't.
Okay, no, that's stupid.
Yeah.
No,
I don't think it's quite that good.
We're not rehashing
No,
this.
I don't think it's.
I don't even know if
Can we
it's the
talk about
best Demacia deck Runeterra's ever seen.
Yeah, I
Kaisa.
agree. I think
That's insane.
It might not even. That's a good point,
No.
Phansora. It might not even be top 2.
Wait, what deck were you talking
Yeah.
about? I'm thinking about Kaisa. Santa, you played Kaisa.
OG Sivir
This is.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
This
with
is
like
better
3-1
than
I
MonteXristo
Shapestone,
disagree.
6-4
by a
Rune
huge
Runner.
margin.
Okay. It's
4-3
fine. It's fine.
Merciless.
We can say it's the best Demacia deck the game has ever seen, and it would still not be the best deck LoR has ever seen. No shot. No shot.
I think it at least has an argument for like it's in the top 5, and I don't know.
Santa.
No, it's not.
Like-
Well, top 5, sure.
I think you guys
Top
are
5 I'll give
I
you.
don't think
Okay.
it's top 5.
Oh, but like, okay, here's the problem because people were talking like
The deck is insanely good, and people are terrible at it.
That's every tier
Like-
1 deck.
Yeah,
That's every
okay.
tier
We
0.
can
No,
rephrase it into saying it is the most training wheel deck
Okay.
we've ever had.
Santa.
That's actually pretty funny. I actually do kind of like that as like a baseline of like this is the deck that has inflated the most people because it is
Yeah.
relatively easy to pilot.
Okay.
Like, what
But,
has
like-
inflated people more? Aatrox Vayne or the LP changes? It's pretty close, no?
The reason I think it's the best Demacia deck is so like things like Mono Kaisa were like stupid powerful because of their consistent like execution of their combo, but they were also really easily targeted by straight aggro if you weren't specifically teching for that
I
matchup.
disagree.
Kaisa
Phansora-
lost Mono, Kaisa
Phansora-
lost
No,
to
no, no.
aggro when it evolved
Listen.
on 3.
I'll let you
That was
finish,
fun.
and then I'm
Listen.
gonna have a rant, Santa.
You know that I know
Which is
that
why
Mono
I'm
Kaisa could beat
Stunned
aggro.
that you're making this
Society-
argument because I know
You-
that other
you
people
know-
are making
you
this
know I
argument.
know
Kaisa
that.
loses to aggro, clueless.
You know that I know that it can, but it was not like the fact that Aatrox like just plays 1-drop, 2-drop, 2-drop, or 3-drop or whatever, then plays Aatrox and then can't die is wild. And like you are always tutoring Aatrox, and you have so much value in like the grindy games. Like the fact that there are games where I was outvaluing bar decks is insane. Like that's wild.
You could do that with Sivir
Like, you just-
You beat like with like the
Oh, Sivir
Nerf
Auction.
Sivir Auction, you would just like beat them with value sometimes because like the way you applied your tempo to get ahead of them made them always use cards like inefficiently.
So,
Like I
yeah,
understand
here's
what
the-
you're saying, but we've had some really illegal decks in this game, man. Like it's
Like,
for sure
yeah,
top
that's
10,
fair.
but like maybe top 5, but like no shot it's top 3.
I think top 5. I wouldn't argue for significantly more than that because I think TF is like people like argue that it's not the best, but I actually do think that's the best deck the game's
Nah,
ever seen.
everyone says TF is the best, no?
It's because it's insane. That deck was
I didn't
wild.
play then.
And like TF
Me either.
was insane.
Okay.
But
It's just
you could like put arguments against the other stuff where I think Aatrox is absolutely bonkers in his
so.
current
Here's the
state.
problem with Kaisa
And
is
you
that I have
can-
certain arguments I can make against other people, but not you. And the arguments are no one was playing pre-patch, and a lot of what people remember is post-patch because that's what Seasons was paid on, where Kaisa was still the
Yeah.
strongest, but not nerfed. That's what people remember. But not you, Sansa. You played pre-patch. You climbed pre-patch with me. So
yeah, no, I abused
you
it a
know
lot.
pre-patch.
And I abused Aatrox right now. And what I'm saying,
I think people are
So,
underestimating
what-
how strong it was because no one played that season because everyone knew from day one that Kaisa was strong and like let's all wait till seasonals and that's like half the player base We had I think we barely had 1,000. I don't think we even made 1,000 people that season. I think we had less than 1,000 people in Masters. I think.
Yeah,
Oh,
this was the
before the-
last season.
before the
Hold on, this
patch,
was the
yes.
last
No,
season
I
before
think
the
by
patch.
No,
season.
it was
Right?
it was
This
just before the
the
I know-
season with
Oh, really?
Bartalawi and
Bef-
Sneezy in the beginning.
Yeah, before patch, I remember we were thinking we might not make it to 700 Masters because so few people are playing. So I think people are skewed from that.
Okay.
And with the Pirates thing, people are coping that Pirates beat Kaisa. I can tell you from having played this, and something can tell you too. I know you can tell that
Yes.
you can
Yes.
play the same bog standard Kaisa list that wasn't tech for Pirates whatsoever, besides like one lifesteal unit, and you were good. You were a-okay.
Yeah.
Against
Bro,
Pirates.
that
So
deck
okay,
didn't even
so-
lose to Annie Jin. Like, we scrimmed that matchup internally. We scrimmed it with, like,
No.
Thomas, who's, like, the
Oh.
aggro goat. And he was losing to just, like, one of the people who doesn't even play Demacia like that, who just was playing Kaisa because it was broken on our team. Right?
yeah,
Like,
I beat
Kai'Sa-
Tempo in seasonal.
Kaisa was, like... Mono Kaisa was, like,
Yeah.
50 into Pirates at that time. That was Pirates
No,
with
really-
Sermon.
really?
That was
Because-
Sermon Pirates. Like, the best aggro deck we've maybe ever had, except, like, Championless Burn
Yep.
and, like, maybe Ziggs Poppy. But it's, like, on par with it.
Okay. I'm gonna take what Hash said. I'm gonna use that because I think what I'm trying to say is that I had a significantly easier time climbing with Aatrox Vayne. And it's like, I think to play, so I think Kaisa might, like, you might be right that Kaisa is a higher power level, but Aatrox is so inflated in power level right now that you can make a million mistakes and still win. When I was, like, climbing to rank 1 with Kaisa, I felt like I had to play every single game perfect.
I disagree.
of-
Because
I think I
if
only
you-
had to play the Pirates and Mirrors very well. I think the rest of them were sweeps.
Okay, but
That
like
was every
almost
single
every
game,
matchup
though.
on ladder was
No.
Pirates or Mirrors.
Only
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
40% with Pirates and Kaisa. To be fair, there was a lot
But,
of
like,
bad Pirates and Kaisa players, so it wasn't that hard.
But, like, even
Yeah,
on
it's the
stream,
same thing
I
with
was-
Aatrox.
Okay,
The
sure.
Aatrox mirror is actually perfectly fine.
The Aatrox mirror is hard. That's difficult to navigate. I think it's really
Yeah, which is why, like,
fun,
if you're
but-
better than your opponent, you should be fine in that matchup. Like, it's
Yeah.
Like, the Aatrox mirror
God,
is, like,
I love
kind of
Demacia
simple.
mirrors.
It's like you get into weird spots, but, like, I don't know. The mirror isn't that hard. There's, like, a few things that matter, and you just, like...
The mirror gets really hard if both players know how to play the mirror. Is when it becomes really fun.
Yeah, like, there's difficult spots, but, like, I don't know. Like, it's really interesting because, like, Aatrox, I think, and, like, this is part of the reason why I feel so inflated, is, like, it's very powerful, yes, but it's also very linear in how it kind of asks you to go about your game plan and, like, setting up your, like, end game. But you do get a lot of really small decisions, and in, like, a mid-range board-based deck like Aatrox, especially when you're playing it with, like, Vayne, who, like, Tumble can be just, like, such a back-breaking card when played at the right time. It, like, gives you so much agency and power if you understand how to exploit it. And, like, because it's just so powerful and it's, like, the deck plays itself in a lot of spots, it, like, does just feel super broken and inflated, like we've been talking about. But
I still don't think it was one of the best decks of last year. Like, it wasn't one of the best 2 decks of last year. I think the top 2 decks last year was Ari Kennen and Nami Lee.
So I've got a hot take for a
Sorry?
sleeper best deck, but
Sorry,
it
Ken.
didn't see enough play, so it's hard to tell. But on release, Ezreal Kennen was extremely powerful. And I think
the take on that deck is that we just don't
Exactly.
know
no,
enough.
on
I think
release,
people-
on release, Ezreal Kennen's a 2021 deck, though.
it is actually last year.
Yeah,
I know it's last year, but it's
It's
like
2
it
years
feels
ago.
part
Okay,
of the
1
same cycle. It's because it was post
No,
Worlds.
we can talk about it. It's just, like, that's crazy.
It was
It's, like,
post Worlds
2
last
years
year,
ago.
wasn't it?
Yeah, it was,
he
like,
literally said
December,
Ari
the beginning
Kennen.
of December.
Sorry, Ezreal Kennen. But
Hash said Ari Kennen, and I was like, oh shit, that's this year.
Oh, then that's you.
or last year.
well, no, that's last year now.
That's
but-
wild, man.
I do think Ezreal Kennen, because I do remember a specific example. I remember scrimming against Ping City. You think, oh, that's gotta be a tough matchup. They got TF on 4 when you play whatever is Wayfinder. We scrimmed that matchup. That was positive for Ezreal Kennen. Ezreal Kennen could reliably beat Ping
Yeah,
City.
They go TF. You go 1 mana recall.
You
and
go
they're
1
like,
mana
"Haha,
recall on the
nice
one
deck."
cannon, and you twin the other cannon, and you're fine.
Mhm.
And you,
Yeah.
So I do think that's
That was
actually, I
before
think,
hotfix,
because
though,
I've seen
right?
some of the conversations
Yes.
people having with like Aatrox. I think Ezreal Cannon is hard slept on just because it didn't see enough play before it got nerfed.
Yeah, it's like a
no,
weird
that's fair.
one to. It's a weird one to put in because it was hotfix so
Yeah.
fast. Where like it,
Mhm.
if it got to stick around, people would have hated that deck because it was stupid powerful. But it was like so obviously broken that it got nerfed.
You know,
I
immediately.
mean,
you know
we
what
had
else
to.
I'll say?
We had to live in S.
Yeah,
Cannon meta
3
earlier
damage
this
mark
year.
as Kennen might be better than Aatrox was. It's just it can't carry people to the same extent.
They were.
But you know what? You know what's
Yeah.
the craziest part? Some games it did carry people despite their best effort. Like Ezreal Kennen is a deck where you can watch it and it's like a lesson in minimizing EV for some players, and they still win on the deck. It's insane.
Oh my god. Alright, so basically the power level of the meta is extremely low. Everyone should just stop complaining.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
That's it.
I mean, like I do.
Except
Go
like
I really
kind of
do
genuinely.
like the power level of the meta outside of Seraphine and Aatrox. Like, I would just like more decks on, like, well, maybe not the entire meta, but like the power level of things like Lulu Jinx, Gwen, Plunder, I think is like a really nice power level for the game. It would be nice if we toned down like Sarah and Aatrox to be there and maybe brought another deck or two like up to that level. And like there is stuff that's
I
kind
wanna-
of close.
And there are decks that are like decent counters into the field as well. Like there is a genuine case to make for like FTR at the moment.
Yeah.
To be honest, for example, Gwen Fizz showed up like last week. Also seems to be holding up pretty well. Like things are still happening. There was like a Recorex deck as well with Darius and Bone Club that showed up.
Yeah.
Things are happening. Bro, this guy, Shadawx, he got second place at a tournament yesterday with the Veiled Temple in his deck in 2023.
Yeah, but Mono Kaiso in that tournament. I don't know what's happening at Mystic Shop, bro.
Yeah.
No, it was championless. He didn't even draw Kaisa that game. I don't know, man.
You were playing Alawi, right?
I just
Like,
lost to Swinging Glaive. It was crazy.
Okay, I want to
Hey,
talk.
you didn't
I'm
mention
like,
Alawi either. Come on.
dude, your
True.
lineup was whack. Do you want to talk like how you want to nerf? Because I don't want to nerf Seraphine, and I see a lot of people.
No, I don't wanna nerf
Seraphine the champion, not
guys,
the
Okay,
guys.
okay.
Oh,
No,
yeah,
look,
the champion.
okay. As
Yeah. Okay.
please
I wanna nerf
listen
the
to
deck.
me,
Quick litmus
as the
test before
GE
that.
Shelfo connoisseur, we have to nerf Seraphine.
I just
Like,
need a quick
if you
litmus
do
test.
not
No.
nerf Seraphine,
Who here thinks that we need to nerf Ezreal?
deck. No, who gives a shit about
Yeah.
Ezreal?
Okay,
No.
just making sure.
Ezreal probably should get rotated though because he keeps like breaking
That's
fair.
things.
That's
but
fair.
like
Ezreal is a rotation angle. He's not a nerf.
Yeah. He's a future problem.
he's a
card,
bad
right?
card
Like,
that
Yeah.
breaks like good cards.
Very similar to
He
TF.
was a future
Yeah.
problem card like a few months
Mhm.
ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, now he's just a problem.
People forget, by the way, when Ezreal got nerfed earlier last year from like 6 to 8 on his level up condition, people were complaining.
People
Mhm.
were.
Like, that's crazy.
That's too high.
Ezreal is a bad champion, but is enabled really well by other champions.
Mhm.
But yeah, I want.
So I just had
Do you
ahead.
want to like properly like you want to nerf Seraphine the champion, not just like gut Bar?
Yes.
Why? So you want to keep Bar around?
Okay, guys.
In its current form.
I've played.
No, I'm curious.
So many. No. Like I don't think Bar's that big of a problem, to be honest.
Really?
Like it's a bit strong, but like I think Seraphine is more of the problem. Like you have to understand, like I'm the guy who's played so much fucking GE Shellfolk that like you like Seraphine will be not as good, but like this deck is just going to beat anything that lets it play GE, and it's just going to transfer to GE, and it's just going to go like more into like the infinite like degenerate combo direction. Like you just
that
given
sounds
like
way more fun.
yeah, like it is more fun too. Like I would like it, but
Yeah.
like you're just like the problem is still the same. You have like 2 mana Shellfolk, 2 mana Karma.
To
Like
be fair, GE does mean that 3 regions have counterplay now.
yes, that
Yep.
is true.
GE
And that's
playing
significant.
Glorious Evolution also means you can't play it until turn 7. like minimum. And if you're
Well,
playing
like,
it on
you-
turn
you
7,
probably
that's your
play,
whole
like-
turn. Unless you're having
You
like
can play like
Acorn or something,
Acorns, and
but-
like you probably start playing like
Sure.
a couple like forges, right?
I think this is reasonable, but it doesn't like I'm okay with the deck going in that direction if Bar gets nerfed, you know?
Yep. Also, like, nobody's going to end up, like, how many games are you going to see, like, double or triple Glorious Evolution? Because playing around a deck of a, like, -3 discount, essentially across the board, is impossible and super frustrating, especially when all of those cards that are discounting are
I'll
also
tell you,
all creating
I
random
played a game
cards.
against one of mine. He had 3 bars and Glorious.
Yeah, like, that is
No.
insane. And, like, sure, why, like...
This is in Worlds.
It's just I want Bar literally like deleted from the game. I despise that deck's design.
I don't,
And
I
I-
don't know
so
about,
what
I
would
don't
you
know
do?
about deleted. I don't know about
So-
but I do
so
think that
I
like
put
Let me.
What would you do, Santa?
Yeah,
if
yeah,
you
let
wanted-
me-
But-
let me be more nuanced. So I wrote a whole I wrote a whole article on MR about RNG, and like Seraphine Bar was a huge part of that. And there is no feasible way to change Bar to be a decent card. Like, I went through so many options to make Bar not degenerate, and the only thing I could land on that wouldn't kill the card but make me not hate it was Region Lockage Generation of Barkeep, because I hate it being game
I
wide.
like this. There's a issue with that though.
Okay. And
No, I know. And
You
also
run out of
increases
cards.
cost
No,
to
no, no.
7.
It's that it kills the
I-
theme of Barkeep and like
No,
Barkeep
so
decks
I agree.
prior
And
to
I brought that up.
Bar. The Barkeep decks were the like it was always a meme deck, but it was a random bullshit meme deck, and you kill that is the problem.
Yeah, so I brought that up as well. The other options that I put forth were either put it at 8 mana, because it's 7 mana in its current spot, it's still going to see play everywhere. It's still going to be stupid good and extremely frustrating. If you put it to 8 mana, it probably doesn't see play anymore, because why wouldn't you just play Glorious? So, like, it's this really... like, it's this, like, impossible card to balance. Where, like, my third option that I came up with, because I had no idea what to do, was literally just change the unit it makes. Because I think the idea of a landmark that gives a discount is sick. I think that's really fun, because it's this, like, risk-reward where, like, there's a fair amount of landmark destruction in the game now. So, like, if you're committing 6 mana to get this discount, like, that's a risk to you, where someone can destroy that, you lose the discount. But you don't really run that risk with Bar, because you make a 3/3 that makes you more cards, and, like, you're never getting put behind, really, even if they destroy the Bar. It's just, like, a bit of an inconvenience for you.
New unit,
Mm.
back alley waiter.
what did you think about the 8 cost? Did you think it was too much? The 8
Yeah,
cost.
you just play G and
I think 8 cost would kill it.
8
You
cost,
wouldn't
you'd
play
play
it at 8
Glorious
cost,
for
you just
sure.
play Glorious.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
What about creating the Barkeep in hand?
Ooh. I didn't consider that as an option, actually. That's
No.
kind of cool. I like
Wait.
that. I don't hate that.
It would also cost 3, right?
It would
Yeah.
That's the
cost
thing
you
I
the
was about
first
to
time,
mention.
yeah.
If he costs 3, that's a little too much. Like, it still makes the card
Okay.
bad, I think.
Yeah, you
Could-
just play G.
Yeah. But, like, that's
Like, the
fine.
thing that makes Bar so good
I
is
know.
that the card reads that you can jam it on
Yeah.
6.
Because you get a
Like
block.
No,
the
but,
fact
like,
it's
the
a 6
problem-
mana 3/3 is like so much of the fact it makes the 3/3 is so
Mhm.
much of like why the card is
So
good.
what
Okay,
if we
okay.
also buff
Also,
Barkeep
like-
to 3
so then-
mana?
I,
So it
I have
becomes
another
2 in
question
hand.
before we go like too far deep into like how we want to nerf Bar. Who thinks Bar is actually a good card when you're not playing Seraphine?
Potentially. Obviously haven't tried it, but we played a lot
think it's
of
good.
I think
non we played a
it's pretty
ton
good, yeah.
we played a ton of non-Seraphine Bar decks when prepping for Worlds, and they were all great. Well, actually, what am I topped with a non-Seraphine Bar
No,
deck?
hold on. I want to preface
Like-
what I just when I just meant when I raised my hand. I think it's good. I think it's a good card when you don't play Seraphine. I don't think it's good enough though.
Sure.
But like
Like-
it can be. And also, like, here's what I want to say, that I don't think Bar should be playable. Like, a card that creates Back Alley Barkeep, which is inherently a really memey, really high variance card, shouldn't be competitive. Like, I hate
I don't
that
think
card
it is
being competitive.
outside of Seraphine. So like I think we should just
But who
hit
cares?
Seraphine.
But then you just want to
No,
kill
but like
Seraphine and all
does
the
a
what
Philios
early...
CardGamer is
Victor
going
count?
for, what CardGamer is going for is that, okay, because it's not real unless Seraphine is in the game, you remove Seraphine, you remove Bard.
Yeah.
But that's way less fun. I want to keep I want to keep Seraphine in the game.
Are you sure you want to keep Seraphine?
I
by the
legitimately
way,
like
by the way,
Seraphine.
Okay, I mean, I'm not sure if I agree with that because like Seraphine decks
Fair.
can still transition into something else that doesn't use Seraphine.
So, I brought this up as well in my article. I'm going to be reiterating a bunch of stuff. I'd also region lock Seraphine's generation.
Yes.
Because it's,
Sure, yeah, that's whatever.
Yeah. Because
that should have happened a long time ago.
Yeah, it's that variance that sucks, but I don't want to kill back alley barkeep because that's a really fun meme deck. So I would rather just move Bar to like a meme level playability where like if you want to play University of Piltover with back alley Bar or whatever, you could do that. That's funny. But like University of Piltover shouldn't be a good card. Like, and I think back alley Bar is in the same area. Region locking Seraphine is a buff, but I think it's a buff I would legitimately prefer over how she is now.
It feels better to play against it because just like the way that
Yeah.
your mind works, you remember the time that they high rolled Buried in Ice off of their Barkeep, and not the time that they got Mystic Shot to kill you from 2.
It's also, like the fact that I have died to Seraphine creating Disintegrate, like, probably 10 times at this point. Because there aren't that many 2-cost spells, so it's not crazy that she'd get Disintegrate, but it's also crazy valuable in a deck that runs things like Pokestick and like virtually no hard removal. So it's so frustrating to play against things like that, and I don't like super broad swings to be that competitively viable.
I think overall it doesn't really matter which direction Riot goes in. If you go the Bar direction, it's going to do enough. If you go the Seraphine direction, it's going to do enough as well. And I think the larger point all 5 of us will agree on, that whole archetype needs to go and rest for a little bit.
I think Seraphine's going to
It's
get
just-
hit again if you just nerf Bar. But that's just
So
me.
what, a 1-3?
I'm okay if Seraphine gets hit again. I just like, because I actually like Seraphine as a value engine because like she does only work with the new cards, so it's not exactly 2-mana karma. And if your whole deck isn't generating random new cards that are all discounted by Bar, she gets a lot worse.
I mean, we kind of are getting to the point in the game where like you can run a deck of all one-ofs and it's like not that bad. So
I
it's
mean,
like
that's
No, it's
current decks anyway.
PNZ has like 50 Mystic Shots.
Yeah.
Like,
I do think for starters, she should not have 4
Different
health.
flavors.
I don't think changing that's enough.
Oh yeah, you could
but
take
need
a
to
health off.
At least take a health off in addition to other things.
I think
What if we just gave her 0
stats,
attack?
like changing her
Zero
stats is not a bad
Backline
idea
engine.
because it forces.
I don't know. I like the 1 attack.
I think 1 attack's fine, but she shouldn't have 4
Having-
health. She should never have
yeah.
4 health.
No, dropping a health off is fine. I like 1 attack.
Yeah.
though.
I like dropping a health because it forces you to play her when she's already flipped, right? Like that's
I'd also
better.
be okay with just like putting her to 3 mana. Like that's not going to change her much.
That's
they probably don't want to make her 3 mana for flavor
That's-
reasons.
Mhm.
Yeah,
I know, I'm pretty sure that's why,
a
too.
good nerf, but it's not happening.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a million ways you could buff Seraphine, but I
Seraphine?
legitimately
Buff
want. I
Seraphine.
never,
Seraphine?
Monka.
Whoa.
I understand.
but yeah, there is no. I basically what I'm saying is I want this patch to happen, and I never want to see back alley Bar in a competitive deck ever again.
Oh, you're
that
gonna
is
see it still. I'll tell you that.
but like it is.
I'll make
Actually,
sure.
no, it is
No,
without
no.
a doubt the card that I hate the most that I have ever seen in LOR. I despise
Really?
I
that
thought you were
variance.
fine with it
It's
during
the
like
reason
Worlds
why-
patches.
Yeah, it's because I was tryharding to win
Okay.
Worlds.
Fair enough.
And I wasn't fine with it. I flamed it constantly. The number of bar
okay.
games, like we would be playing a back alley Bar mirror, and we would both be going back, getting like super small advantages and stuff, and then someone's Bar would just roll something that like blew out the matchup, and it was just like, oh well, shit. I guess this game's over because you got an FTR.
Okay.
Like
So wait, hypothetical.
that specific scenario didn't happen.
Hypothetical. Bar does everything the same except it generates a vanilla 3/3. What are your thoughts then?
But sure, that's
That's
great.
fine.
Yeah, that's
Like,
awesome.
It probably. I don't think it like removes the entire playability of.
I think you'd probably need to
No,
hit something
the-
else in addition to that.
Yeah.
So,
I agree.
so the like really cute idea I had was make it 7 mana and it creates Zon Bouncer, which is a card that already exists. It's a 4.
Santa, why
Which
you
is
gotta
a
go
card that
making up
already
cards?
exists. It's a 4-mana 4/4 flow.
It's a 4 mana
Refill your
4/4
spell
that
mana.
refills your spell mana. So
Okay.
it's a cute. It was the best that I could pick from existing cards. Where like it still kind of fits the flavor, not particularly well, but
Okay.
yeah, in a way where like the bar is generating the bouncer, and that's kind of cute. It synergizes by giving you spell mana, and you still get the discount, but it removes that like genuinely infuriating mechanic. I like cannot iterate how much I hate that card.
I think you need to. If you did that, you would also want to be
Well-
removing that off of like region lock Seraphine, region lock, the one Seraphine
Oh, yeah.
spell that's not high note, but the other one crowd pleaser. No, one of them.
Crowd
One of them
pleaser.
generates another
I
2
think-
cost spell. You'd also need a reason.
Oh, there's
I mean, there's
also
a few cards.
Encore
Dude.
now.
There's
Yeah.
Encore. There's
There's too
Inspired
many.
Plans.
There's a lot.
Sputtering Song Spinner.
That card
Oh,
also
goodness.
is
Yeah.
obnoxious as hell.
I guess like
You remember before Seraphine?
a bit away from
Remember
bar now.
Seraphine when we were like, God, Summoning Swan Center? Why would anyone ever play this?
Not a Nami PNG enjoyer, clueless.
Not the Nami. Yeah.
Oh, I know someone
it was a
someone
Nami
won
PNC.
seasonals with that with Jace.
That card was
yeah,
dope.
that
That was
did
true,
happen.
though.
EU
But that was
Jace,
off
yeah.
of Ferris.
It was
It's off of Barrows.
So,
Oh no, that was a
buffs-
Triva.
Is there any buffs you'd want to see?
Wait,
Any
wait.
buffs
Before
right now?
before
Oh,
buffs,
yeah.
can we talk about how fish fight needs
Yes.
to get
Yeah,
nerfed?
let's talk about
Please.
Aatrox for a second, and then I have
Is it
one
fish
more
fight,
question.
or is it
Let's
just
just
the darkened
continue to
weapons?
gut Demacia as a region. I'm all for it. First the rallies, then the strike spells.
I'm-
All gone.
Okay,
I mean,
but
listen,
like,
we were just talking about best decks. If you put Aatrox in the top 5, 2 of those other decks are probably Sivir Akshan and
Kaisa,
Mono
yeah.
Kaisa. Like, to put 3 of the
No.
5 best decks
I was never
ever are
arguing-
Demacia, which I don't think
I
is
was never
quite true,
arguing that
but-
Aatrox was not one of the top decks. I just think it's not better than Kaisa. That's all.
Yeah, which is insane. So, like, even if you did, like, Aatrox, Sivir,
It's-
Kaisa,
it's
like,
all
that's
rally decks.
still...
Or like
there's also
free
I mean,
attacks.
like, there's
That's good.
Tia Fizz and like Azir Aurelia and like TLC, which are all like absurd decks.
or like if you're talking about Ezcanon, that's a very different deck.
I think release Kaisa is the only Demacia deck that's up there.
Yeah.
By the way, for the record.
James just said Ranger Knight, the tough 4/3 scout, is the problem, which is not
No,
true.
I disagree.
And
I think
also-
Ranger Knight is very good. Ranger Knight is very good, and Ranger Knight can get nerfed. But Ranger Knight getting nerfed will not do anything to Aatrox. Half the Puyman population
Yeah.
is already
Half the
has to
playing
happen.
Aatrox.
I
with stuff.
think it does need to get nerfed though, because like it is a very problematic card, and like
Yeah,
it
sure.
does blow out so many matchups.
Mhm.
But like that won't fix Aatrox. Like other stuff has to happen.
No, I'm telling you, fish fight. Fish fight is the main culprit.
It's a partner nerf. So for fish fight, what would you do?
3 mana.
I don't think it can be 3 mana because of. I think I was thinking about like, what if you split it? Like 3 mana is the unequipped
Yeah,
part, and then 2
I was
mana
about
is like
to
the slow
say that.
strike.
Sure.
Okay. Yeah.
That's-
Make the
I love
broken
that.
if
part of fish fight.
Yeah.
Make
Yeah,
the broken part of
exactly.
fish fight 3 mana. That's fine.
Because the shitty part just gets hurt for no reason, right?
Yeah, that's fine.
Actually-
That's
I
fine.
actually
That card,
like that
that card
change
is a
a lot.
little overcosted even for the
Yeah.
shitty part.
But
Like,
what
you
if,
gotta
like,
do
It just
single
compares
combat.
to
Is it
single strike
not?
or single combat.
Yeah,
the
exactly.
speed.
There's so many ways to nerf Aatrox, because like
Mhm.
like darkened weapons straight up are broken. Those things are insane. Like having quick attack on a weapon.
I think
Just
Harp is a
all the
little too
time.
good. I think the others are okay. I think Harp maybe
I
plus
think
1+1.
the discounts
I think-
are the problem.
I think World Ender
the
could
Oh,
The
cost
Aatrox
cost
more.
discount. It's discounting
I
5.
think World Ender
I
could
think-
cost
Yeah,
I
more.
think
World
the,
Ender could be
Oh,
a 17
like
mana.
the flip-
Oh, you
the
mean that
flip
discount?
Flipped
yeah.
Aatrox discount.
That
Sure,
too.
sure. Yeah,
Darkened
yeah.
Aegis is
Like I
also
can
too
see,
good.
I can.
The
see-
dark
actually think
discount. Yeah,
It's kind
Yeah, I
of
can
cool
see that.
flavor wise for Aatrox's spell, the World Ender, to start unplayable. Like, balance 2, sure. But I think it's kind of
Oh,
cool
that's cute.
that
For
you have to
14?
strike at least once. He starts at 14, you have to strike in order to make it work. I think that's just a cool idea.
That
to
is
have like
cute.
the first 14
I do
mana.
like
Oh, I see. I
So-
see.
A fellow
Um,
Lissandra
yeah.
simp.
Yeah, there we go.
But
Yeah, there's like you can hit the weapons, you can hit the tutor, you can hit Aatrox's
Yeah, there's a
heal.
few ways to go about it. Right?
You
There's
could
a
just
lot
hit
of
his
things
cost.
they can do to
you
change
can make
Aatrox.
I don't like hitting
Yeah.
Aatrox's cost, I don't think. But like I'd rather make
I'm just-
Aatrox smaller than hit his cost.
I think his cost is actually fine as is.
I think it.
Oh, also, I will say, like, from speaking to a lot of Aatrox players that have played the deck a lot, they've all seemed to agree that the most annoying thing about the deck is that he's a little too easy to tutor. So maybe that's something to look
Mhm.
at as well.
If I after spamming a ton of Aatrox to like get 600 LP, I would probably put I would nerf Harp to +1 attack.
Okay.
Because I think quick attack's bonkers, and like if you can get your like the fact that I could play a mirror in my Ranger Knight with a Harp just trades into Aatrox straight up is wild. Like that's
Okay,
so
but here's
funny.
the deep cut. Ranger Knight isn't even good in the mirror. Anyways.
Ranger Knight's
I-
weird in the
I love
mirror,
Ranger
but
Knight.
Yeah.
it's either like the best card or the
Uh,
worst card. Depends if your opponent has
Yeah,
fish fight.
Ranger Knight is
yeah.
but Ranger Knight with fish fight and Harp.
It's just generally speaking, even if this other stuff didn't
um,
exist, just having birds plus the harp is like kind of something you might not want in
Yes.
a game long term.
Harp is definitely a little
I
too
think
good.
it
I
was
agree.
yeah,
fine
I would take
when
one
Harp
attack.
was region locked to PNZ. But like it maybe could have had like
Yeah.
the demo treatment or like the crack shot treatment, you know what I'm saying?
Well,
Like Vayne
Um,
Quinn was fine, right? Vayne Quinn was very good, but Harp was certainly fine in that deck. But now with all the other equipment,
Yeah. Because you had to pay a
Little too
real
much.
cost to play Harp in that deck, right?
yeah, which is being in PNZ, Omega Lol Castaway.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's that one, and then I'd also I would take away either the attacker health from Dark and Aegis. The tough
I don't think Dark and Aegis needs changing.
I
my
think that the tough you get from that will solo win you a ton of
Yeah.
matchups.
I think
And
that's fine. I think that's something the deck should have.
but that like I'm not trying to like get rid of the tough though. So like I want to keep the tough, but I think the card itself is just like a little too powerful.
You know what they
Especially
should
when
just- Okay, but if you
Thrall
just
is
do?
also very good.
They should just give Noxus an actual way to remove equipment.
Yeah, that's a very good
Brutal
they
take.
have
Skirmish
a
is
bad
great.
way.
No, bro, Skirmish is bad. Every
Yes.
unit in Noxus is 2-1.
But you're
I
doing
like
it off
Brutal
of Noxus. Like Brutal Skirmish is a good card when it's not in Noxus.
Noxus needs a
Yeah, I
spell
guess
like
I
other
should say
regions. Noxus
the-
needs a heavy metal.
Noxus
Yeah,
needs heavy metal.
No. To be fair, the only deck I used Brutal Skirmish in was Yetis.
Yeah, like it's good in like
Yeah.
it's good in
Felt
like
really
Astral
good
Ball
there.
and,
Okay.
Yeti.
Swain needs a way to remove weapons.
You got heavy metal or signpost.
I mean,
What's
it's
the
not-
issue?
Or Raven
It
Bloom
has
needs a
heavy
way to
metal and
remove.
Signpost.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Ravenbloom has
Yeah.
heavy metal. Yeah, there's
Heavy
there's
metal.
ways.
Raven?
I don't know that that's
Wait,
going to do
what does
anything.
PNZ have?
Raven
What's the
has
other
heavy
region?
metal, right?
You're not
what
playing
does
mono
PNZ
PNZ has
Nox, are
Hex
you?
Splitterator.
Yeah, Hexploit.
Yeah.
Sure it does.
I mean, it's a good way to remove equipment. It's just not the same type of.
It's not the
removal
cheap
as, like,
Yeah.
SI
You need
the
Yeah.
cheap
removal.
stuff.
Mhm.
So like
It's good for Aatrox
PNZ
and, like,
Nox
when-
doesn't have a way to do it.
Yeah, cheap, right? Like you can't like remove the equip they put on Valor. It's only like good at removing equips on like Ranger Knight and Vayne and Aatrox.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm curious to see what they do because I think there's a million ways to nerf that deck that don't gut it, and that's nice. I don't want it to be gutted. Because I actually do really like Aatrox as like a design. I think he's a very well translated champion.
I mean, I think
Um,
all three of the champions are designed well
Dude,
for this
Give
expansion.
me
Yeah, I
Yeah,
love Rise.
it's
And-
so great how Kale and Rise are fighting over who gets to be the worst
If we
champion
want to
of all
talk
time.
about buffs, those are
Okay,
two of
but
the ones
Rise
I'm
is
looking
so
for.
they're
fun.
cool.
Okay,
Poggers.
okay.
And
Yeah.
They're both
we
worse
can-
than
Let's talk about
Black.
Rise.
let's
By
go
the way.
Buffs.
That
Let's
guy
go
got
Buffs.
Reveler's Feast.
I don't
So real quick,
know.
first of all,
Broken.
Rise mirrors are the most brain dead thing in the universe. I don't care what other mirrors you're talking about. Rise is the bottom of the barrel. You both sit there, jerking yourself off, and you see who finishes first.
Dude, if someone draws Rise, they just win because you can't remove Rise in a Rise deck. It's the dumbest.
No, you both just play Rise on 4 and they stare at each other.
What if you don't draw Rise?
You're fucked.
I Okay, I played Rise day one. Like, the first game I queued was a Rise mirror. They hit Rise on 4. I didn't, and I just never played that champ again. I was like, nah, man.
No,
this is the most miserable.
Oh,
It is
I've
the
ever
most
done.
miserable mirror
Dude,
in the
I
world.
love Rise.
I,
Rise is the worst champion they can never buff. Because the second that champion becomes too good, the game turns into the worst meta we've ever seen.
Yes.
I do think
Like,
I mean, he's technically a champ that will get buffed, right?
Yeah.
Like
Yes.
slowly as
True,
more
yeah,
burst
you're
and focus
right.
cards come in, right?
Also, not just that. Rise is probably just like getting a buff before the season. Like
really?
how Riot have
I
been
think-
doing things.
No.
No. How Riot have been doing this, it would make sense. Like Rise and Kill are like 90% getting buffed.
I do think
Kale,
that like
sure.
Yeah, Kale
I don't-
needs
not-
a
I
buff.
think
not
Rise can be like a high tier 3, bottom tier 2 deck, and it's fine. Right now, Rise is like tier 4.
I am super happy with Rise being
Only
a
four?
like I
Okay.
want Rise to end up being that super like that niche tournament deck where like someone's bringing a bunch of control stuff and you bring Rise because it absolutely smashes control and loses
Oh,
to
so it's Bandle 3.
literally everything else. No, except Bandletree was way better. That deck could just beat everything because it just ran.
Well,
Bandletree
Bandletree was also just like Yordle aggro.
Yeah, exactly. Like Bandletree was just a good deck that then also ran Bandletree.
Yeah, Bandletree was like all the archetypes. It was a combo deck, it was an aggro deck, it was a control deck.
That's true.
It ran Phlox and Minimorph. It actually was like every archetype. But yeah. I will say, so I haven't climbed much. I've talked about this with some of you guys before, but I will say playing Rise in Gold and Plat makes Rise seem really good.
Ah, what a surprise!
You know,
You know what?
I
hear me
queue
out.
him-
Games putting golden.
I cube into Deep Darkness Nami. I'm like, damn, Rise is a
Dude,
good
Deep's
deck.
broken. They play heavy metal and Quietus.
Oh,
No, but
Dude, I was
You-
playing on my EU Smurf and Plat, and I was winning with Mono Turbo
Look.
Renekton. Like,
you weren't ready for the players playing Dredgers on 1,
Actually, I lost.
Nami on 3, and Senna on 5.
No, I'm not.
I don't know. That sounds kind of based.
Okay,
so.
before
Yeah,
Like
the
all-
same
all
deck.
together.
It's
That
the
sounds like a
same deck.
Shadawx deck.
before we go too deep into the
Hold on, let me write this down.
So I have a question for you guys. Do you think Red Gwen should get nerfed? I feel like people talk about that every once in a while, how like the deck's too strong or it's been too powerful for a while, but I feel like
okay.
it's a good power level to like have in the game. It's
So-
like cool.
I think I agree with you that it's like it's a fine power level, although looking at the stats it seems very high. But I think from the perspective of the devs and how much they want to cycle things out, it is
Yes.
almost certainly getting nerfed. Because it was already on the radar
Yes,
from
yeah.
like 4 months ago. It got touched a little bit.
You
I
can
was gonna
It got
have-
forget.
touched since I think it was Hate Spike. It first got nerfed
And
slightly.
heroin.
Yeah, it's
And then it dodged nerfs for a while. It's definitely going to get hit.
Harrowing. Got there.
Oh, was heroin
Then,
separate?
then
Okay.
heroin came. Yep.
It's definitely getting hit
Yeah,
again.
yeah,
So I
yeah. Yeah, I agree. I think like even though like even if you like say that it's not a deck that should get nerfed, and even if the devs didn't look at it, it's the deck that ended up winning the last game in Worlds, so it's gonna get nerfed.
also its numbers are actually crazy high. 58 or 57% win rate and 4.5 play rate.
Yeah,
Which
it has
too
good
high.
numbers. I don't think the deck is like
Mhm.
I don't think the deck like needs to get nerfed, but it's definitely going to. I think the real question though is what gets nerfed. Is it going to be Fallen Reckoner or Gwen? Because I think it's one of these two.
Oh, it's never Gwen. They're just going to like gut Fallen Reckoner, and then you're
I can
not
see
gonna
it
be
being
able to play.
Gwen.
I was the
the deck
same.
at all.
I kept thinking it was Fallen Reckoner by far, and I do agree that Fallen Reckoner is really good. But the more I play, the more I feel like Gwen is just also like really, really good.
I
Okay,
think
but what if?
it's going, and it might end up being both, but I think a big determining factor is going to be whether the patch is this week or next week, because that affects how much this Rico Rex pile is factored into things. And Rico Rex pile is fucking carried by Reckoner.
Oh yeah.
yeah,
So
that deck has,
I
like,
was
all
about
of-
to say. No, I was about to say. What about Ruined Reckoner? Like, if you
Nah,
hit
it's
the
not
the
Reckoner. You
fr-
don't
No,
need to
no,
have
no,
that
no.
card.
if you hit Ruined Reckoner, you hit Vayne Rumble as well.
That
And
is
Vayne
not a
Rumble.
No, that deck
I'm
is
not
not a
saying
problem.
I'm not saying it is a problem, but I'm saying that people hate it.
I think
That is
that's
And they
actually a
do-
possible
That's true.
change because
Not a problem
that's
to
also
you,
a
but
fairly popular
Yeah,
it's
deck.
not.
That's like
You know,
it's been around for quite some time.
Yeah.
So I think that it's possible it's on the radar.
because like you also have to think like, if I was a lower level player trying to climb, what deck pisses me off the most?
I mean, I did die.
And which deck can I affordedly build?
Yeah. I mean, like, I was playing today, and I
Mhm.
did just, like, die to Rumble and couldn't do anything about it because they just, like, they attacked on 4, played
Mhm.
over 1
I
weapon,
will
wrecked
say,
around 5.
Rise decks fill your opponent with so much despair because
Are you still
You
talking
spend-
about
Yes.
Rise?
no, it's like you're okay. Just if we're talking about decks that I imagine people are pissed off at, just you sitting there slowly collecting your Infinity Stones, and they're just watching you. You bounce everything they ever love and hold dear, and then at the very end, you attack and boom, just burst lethal. They snap, and it is all done.
That's me when I play on my
Or
infinite only
just here to
Smurf.
talk about Rise and Kaisa. And that's
Yes.
it.
My infinite only
Look.
Smurf.
Yeah, I have fun in
New
Silver.
year, new me, new
That's the
combo
deck I
deck.
should craft next. That's it. That's what I'm building. I'm gonna get masters on my Smurf with Auction Infinite.
That's what I'll climb to master.
Let's
That's
make
what
it
I'll finish my
happen.
climb with.
Dude, that deck is so fun.
Honestly,
I'll say it again.
Something I
Best,
want-
best deck in LOR ever. Don't at me,
Shurima
please.
just needs
I don't
a
wanna defend it.
recall or kill spell, and it actually would be an extremely strong deck.
Yeah,
If Shurima
true.
had the Unforgiving Soul, I think it would be like tier 2 at least. Just that one card, it would make it an extremely strong deck.
Yes.
Yeah, I agree.
I can
If
say that about some other
Shurima
cards
had
too,
one
but
of the best cards in the current metagame,
No, I'm saying
it would
literally.
be very
No,
good.
I'm telling you though, like Infinite's it's like 40% win rate, and it's like not a good deck. I think it just literally needs one.
40% win rate.
Yeah.
Sorry, is that too high?
It's just funny. You're building it for a 40% win rate.
No,
deck,
but like literally though, that's
you-
Infinite's one weakness. It can technically deal with wide boards sometimes, but it can't deal with tall units at all.
Okay, I shit you not. It's a 29.7.
Okay, see that's a lie. It should be about 40.
What?
It should be like 40.
Oh yeah,
it should be
that's
about
too
40 to
low.
45 if you're playing it right.
If you're playing in Gold and
That deck's
Platinum,
bad, but like,
Wait, hold on. Okay.
I'm gonna craft this on
Hold
Friday.
issue.
I'm going to at least get Diamond with Infinite.
Okay, I gotta.
Honestly, it's kind of wild I don't have an Infinite video on my YouTube, so
you wanted people to like
it's
you.
about time. It is
Yeah.
straight
Don't
up,
do what I did, man.
dude. No,
Don't do it.
I am not joking when I say Infinite is my favorite deck. Like in LOR,
Dude,
probably.
you have-
period.
Shadawx said
I'm
that,
so
and then
sorry
they made him
to
rotate
you.
auction.
I love
Yeah.
that so
But
much.
Santa, how can you say that when you haven't even topped a seasonals playing Infinite?
True.
Bro, I cannot
Yeah, have
believe
you won anything
did.
playing
What
Infinite?
a psycho.
That's my greatest achievement in this game.
That's true.
Yeah, what a-
Oh my god. Yeah, the only thing I have close is the like weird Leona Acel homebrew I topped with, but like Shadawx's cat's here.
No, they're both here. Yeah.
I have a question. So like during World Season and maybe like the patch before as well, there were conversations about talking about like how Quietus was maybe too good. Now that we know why Quietus is in the game, do we still think Quietus needs to get nerfed?
I was talking about this a little bit ago, and the like general consensus is make it 2 mana.
I
Like
think.
2 mana
That-
store, 2
I
mana
think
fast?
given that you're
mana
nerfing
slow.
stuff like Aatrox, I think you need to hit Quietus.
yeah, Quietus is like I am okay with SI having good removal tools, and I really like non-damage based removal. So like cards like Vengeance and stuff, but Quietus is bonkers, man. Like that card is just absolutely insane. At
I
1
think
mana.
it is too much.
Like if Hate Spike got nerfed,
Like the only problem is
Like,
that like it's
Quietus,
currently
uh,
keeping SI on life support considering the rest of the meta.
Yeah. The issue
This is
with
true.
Quietus is
Uh,
like if you nerf it, it just isn't really like playable.
Like barring Gwen decks.
Unless
Barring
you
Gwen
make it
decks.
fast, maybe.
I think 2 mana fast.
Yeah, if you make
That's
it
where I
fast,
am.
there's a chance. But like 2 mana slow, I don't think is playable.
Oh.
I think that depends how much equipment there is. I I'm pretty
Yeah,
sure
like
that
you
should be
only
fine.
you play it for equipment removal, and sometimes it hits.
Depends
like,
how much Braum there is.
Yeah,
True.
Braum there is, bro. Can we just like pour one out for Formidable? Oh my god.
Oh yeah, what
that
happened to
keyword
that?
arrived. It arrived.
No,
dead.
it
no.
was supposed to be
And then
played
they
with
Have you
freaking
heard of
quieted
Wait,
it.
Broadwing?
it just got a new card.
Our Lord and Savior,
That's-
Petricite
come on.
Broadwing?
Broadwing's a
Broadwing's the best
3/3.
drop in the game. And Galio
Broadwing-
had a tier 1 deck for
Yeah,
us.
Galio was popping for a very short period of time.
What period of time was this?
It was
The
popping.
Bard era.
It was Bard. The only reason Bard Galio was good is because everyone was playing the better Bard Demacia deck with Poppy, and Bard Galio
No,
beat
you
the
have the
Bard
timeline
Poppy
mixed
deck.
up. You have the timeline
Right.
mixed up. Everyone started with Galio, and then Prodigy was like, stop playing Galio, play Poppy instead. And everyone
sounds about
listened
right.
to him. And then everyone started playing Galio to beat Poppy.
Yeah.
Maybe I
Wait,
missed it.
where
Maybe I
does
missed a
Alawi
few
fit
days
into
there.
that
I
timeline?
started with
Is Alawi
Poppy,
after?
and I was so confused.
Yeah,
Alawi,
yeah,
that was
Alawi-
after.
Yeah, that was after.
Way after. Yeah.
thank God Bard is dead. I kind of missed Bard.
They switched to
But,
Poppy
I
to
don't know.
beat Thralls too. That was a interesting time.
This is yeah.
Mhm.
That was the main reason you switched to Poppy. Yeah. Is Jinx on the chopping block? By the way,
Could be. Jinx, if Aatrox and Bar get nerfed, Jinx is going to be the best deck in the game, and I'm so
It
confident
might
on
not.
that.
yeah. Like I think Lulu Jinx is already pretty underrated.
Yeah.
But like, would
for
they
that.
just like full revert?
I don't know, but she's a bit too good right now.
I think if you full revert, she goes back to like
Yeah.
obscurity.
I think you can make her a 3/3.
Yeah.
like a 4-mana 3/3.
Yeah, you
Instead
just take
of-
away
yeah.
a power.
Yeah,
Sure.
Yeah.
I don't think
yeah.
that
But
would
is
change
that
her much.
is that a good change?
Because also like usually when you're playing her, she's flipping that turn as well, right? So she's not a 3/3.
Yeah,
she'll be a
She's
4/4.
slipping into
Mhm.
response usually.
And the other thing is like it makes her less free to attack with, which means like she's taxing your board a lot less, generally
Mhm.
speaking.
Yo, how about the Draven treatment?
Yeah, like if you don't want to revert her, you can just you could also change like the rocket as well, like either the damage or
Yeah.
the cost.
I
What
think
if
changing
the
cost would
first
kill it.
what if the first rocket is 2 mana?
I don't think they would do a change like
That
I
just
that.
think
seems
it's
a
a bit
bit weird,
janky to
but-
put on one card.
I
Yeah,
also
that's
think I think hitting rocket cost is, after playing like a bunch of Jinx Lulu and stuff, the number of times where you are flipping Jinx with exactly 1 mana left because
Yes, of course.
you
It's
set
a
up for
design
that is
thing.
insane. Like that's
Yeah.
a huge
Like
nerf.
I'm pretty sure if you're nerfing Jinx, you either have to nerf a card in the Bandle City like PNZ package, or you have to hit Jinx's power to make it just like more awkward to attack with her. Because like this card, aggro like regular is like solid, but like the deck's not that. Lulu Jinx is very good.
Oh yeah.
So it's probably like a Bandle City card. Like Squeaker is like not a legal card in the video game. So like maybe something to do with that. Or just like a different card, or you just make it so like Jinx can't attack as much.
Squeaker
because,
had
like,
the biggest glow up ever. Like
Yeah.
Jesus.
you really did.
I've been telling people like Mecha Yordles and like Squeaker have been good for like a while. It's just like they finally got a home with the Jinx buff. But
There's just there's the 3 Mecha Yordles you never want to see, and when you see them all, it just makes me so
they're not
sad.
even that bad, to be honest with you.
Yeah, which ones are you talking about? Salty
The,
Spinner, Little Dipper, and which one?
The
It's
I
the
can't remember
discard
the
last
names.
breath.
The one
Yeah,
That
No,
one-
that's
Dipper.
Little Dipper.
that one sucks. The one that
Salty Spinner
creates,
is the slot bot.
Okay.
yeah, and then the one that creates units in hands is situationally good, but generally bad because you're playing
Okay,
a
that's
Jinx deck.
That's
cap,
just wrong.
cap, that's cap. That's cap.
Hash, you look so offended. Holy.
Astaghfirullah, my
Really?
brother.
He's speaking for Pitosh right now.
The number of
Von-
times I have
Von-
taken
That was actually one of
Mech
the
is
the
so
best
feels
ones, I
good.
think.
You're
Yeah,
playing a Sneezy
Yeah.
Beetle Dust deck, aren't you?
it depends
but
what.
I'm also
It- it
playing
has
a
both
Jinx
beat.
deck.
Yeah.
It depends what
you're
gameplay
Yeah,
you're
so that's what I said.
guess,
I
you
said
know?
situationally bad. That card's
No,
not
situationally bad is not real. Like, what are you talking about? It's bad
No, he means he's
10% of
playing
the
like
time.
mono bandle or something.
Model Bandle
Nah, but what
Jinx?
is the stake?
No Jinx.
What's the best one? Cithria?
Look at chat.
What would be the
Generally
third worst one
Cythria,
though?
yeah.
Like if it's not
Earthshaker.
It's
Oh,
like
It's Earthshaker.
it's like
Trumpet
Cytheria or the cheap
Is
ones,
it
right?
Fury?
No, it's Earthshaker.
No, Earthshaker.
Oh,
one's
yeah,
It's the
Earthshaker
Noxus one that
sucks.
doubles its impact and power.
It's like a 3/8 or something.
Yeah,
You
it's like
need-
6
you need-
mana.
Doubles?
You need
Oh,
really
yeah, the other six
specific
cost.
boards
Yeah,
for
yeah.
it to be worth its mana.
Yeah, like Lil
I-
Dipper.
I thought we already said that one.
Earthshaker, And Salty Spinner are like pretty
Oh,
bad.
spinner. Yeah.
And the rest are like good to broken. Like there's like 3 good ones and like 3 game-winning ones.
Like, why is one of the worst Mecha Yordles? Like, what? Some of the worst Mecha Yordles are like a 3-mana 4/4 with 2 impact and like a 2-mana 3/2 with Challenger impact. Like, huh?
That's one of the 3 mana
Wait,
4/4 with impact.
2-mana
is
3/3
one of the
Challenger
best
seems
Mecha
great.
Yordles.
They're on the bottom half of Mecha Yordles.
There's not.
That's how messed.
Yeah, like,
there's
that's
not
how
that
messed
many
up
Mecha
these
Yordles
cards
are.
are. This isn't a diss on these cards.
Yeah,
This is just
there's
me
a lot.
explaining how messed up.
Trumpet Catcher's like one of the
Yeah.
best.
Yeah, that's Cytheria.
I love that card. That card is cracked.
And,
Geode in this deck
yeah,
is
that's it, yeah.
absurd.
Geode is
And
the best one by
G-
far.
Yeah, is
Yeah,
that
the
the spell
support?
shield one?
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
one
that one's
1/4 is also
cracked.
crazy. Yeah, basically, I want to see any of the ones that cost 3 or less, unless I'm like looking for a game ender.
Not a
with
Trumpet Tecker.
Trumpet Tecker or the.
Now with Lolo Jinx, you look for Trumpet Tecker.
It's like Trumpet Tecker
Yeah,
and
yeah.
Geode are the best, and then it's like Von Mech and
Yeah.
Fury Horn, depending on
Yeah.
like the hand state generally.
Dune Hopper as well
That's
is okay.
crazy.
I don't know. I like Dune Hopper a bit more than Fury Horn.
like Dune Hopper.
It depends what you're looking for, but yeah.
It's also it
You
kinda
ever
depends,
swing with Dune Hopper and put Lulu at the end? That should go.
but- Yeah.
Is Shadow Tech just like somewhat
Big
situational?
brain.
It's just too slow generally.
It feels
but, like, It's not
expensive.
a bad card.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If that card had 3 attack, it would be cracked. But it just.
I mean, technically.
Technically,
No,
that's
no.
Damage.
I want it to have 4. That's insane. I can't believe you guys like the one that generates that much.
It's value,
Just
Sansa.
I just find it's. No, I know it's.
You could
value.
even get another squeaker.
I find it so awkward every time I play it. Maybe it's just because like the
Okay,
units
Santa,
I get.
think of it
suck.
this way. Think of it this way, Santa. Is Eye of Nakagaboros a good card?
Okay.
Okay, this costs 1 less, draws 1 more, has 1 more power, and has impact.
Okay, but does it summon it at burst speed? Because it doesn't.
Did I ask?
and
Does
that's a
it
big
draw
part.
cards I put in
Did
my
I
deck?
Yeah, but do you
And
have
also-
to main deck this card?
Can it
Like, you
flip
literally
TF?
don't have to main deck this
No,
card.
no, Shadawx has the final say. Can it flip TF?
Flip TF. Oh my god.
The answer is maybe, depending on the units you get.
Was it Pool Shark?
Um,
Veteran
it is.
Investigator?
It is genuinely possible. It is possible that I suck at the deck because I have not played a lot of Yordles and Arms in my time.
It's a
So
hard
it's
deck.
like not unreasonable that I'm just bad at it, and
Mhm.
I do trust CardGamer and Hash over me. So,
Thank you. You have made a big mistake, but thank you.
but there are definitely some Mecha Yordles you don't want to see. Like both the 6-cost
yeah,
ones
sure.
are truly like they're bad. Those are bad cards. Like you wouldn't main
Yeah.
deck those or
That's fair.
Sometimes they go so hard though, like you would not understand.
that's true. I don't think there's
Bro,
actually like
Little
Mhm.
Dipper, you Little Dipper, pitch your Jinx.
Yeah.
That's where it's at.
there
You
is.
ever
I
Little
don't think I've
Dipper
ever
to
actually
Earthshaker?
played Little Dipper.
Oh
That's
my
pretty
God.
funny.
Dude, my first picks were like Earthshaker, Little Dipper, and like something else unplayable. So I was like, I guess I'll just like take the Earthshaker for later. And then I got a Little Dipper, and I was like, I've made these cards playable.
That's pretty. That's a good combo.
It
Where's
is
our
good.
like Mecha? Wait. When are we doing like Mecha Yordle Watcher? When's that happening? Just
Whenever you want.
Yordle
It's waiting there for you.
I'm sure someone's already done that, right?
dig for the Little Dipper.
Wait, that's actually base.
It'll
It's
be
just like
great.
that other Watcher deck. What was the other one?
Oh God.
The one that places the card on top of the deck?
I don't know. Watcher is so bad right now that cheating it out is not even worth it. It makes me so
Well,
sad.
no, that's only because we can cheat on turn 8. This is... Actually, no, you can't cheat on any faster. Never mind.
We still have
No,
some
you
flip
can't. You need to,
Lysandra.
you need to
still have to
summon the
flip
things.
Lysandra,
Yeah.
yeah.
It makes me sad. That's all I do now is think about ways to cheat out Lysandra or cheat out Watcher, and it's always a bad deck.
Yep.
No.
What do we think of Reveler's Feast, by the way?
I haven't...
I thought that card was gonna suck
Really?
It's
when I
solid.
saw it. I thought there was like no reason you're not just like playing that over something like Vision.
I thought that card was good. I just haven't seen that much.
And it like seems reasonably good, but also like I don't know. It's a weird card.
I mean,
like,
Pirates is sitting at 57% in ladder right now.
But I feel like most of the time I see it played, it's basically a Brothers Bond that kills one of your own units.
Sometimes it's good to
So,
kill your
like-
own units, and like generally it's better than a Brothers
Okay, given
Bond,
how
but,
much like
yeah.
Aatrox and stuff,
Yeah,
and
for sure.
heal, it's not bad.
No, yeah. I don't think it's like a bad card. I didn't think it would see as much play as it is. Like because most of the time I see it, it is a Brothers Bond, and it's like you could just be playing Brothers Bond for one less mana. And then like when it isn't, it's super valuable, and that's probably why you're playing it over that. Because 6 is
Yes.
more than 4.
Also-
Or
I mean, like
8,
the
or...
Wow.
Here's
because
one
I
of
feel
my
like the
takes,
deal
though,
damage is
like,
never the issue because you're always doing like almost always like if you're not getting blocked, then you're winning anyway. If you are getting
Yeah.
blocked,
Yeah.
you're doing something that's not trading well anyway because that's what your deck is.
Or sometimes you just have big
Which is, like,
units and
fine.
like everything gets buffed anyways. Like
Sure.
I don't know. I feel like if you've never
Mhm.
seen the card be, or like if you rarely see the card be better than Brothers Bond, like you're just playing against bad players. Like the card can definitely pop when you set it up right, and it's not that hard to set it up with how the decks are built.
I don't think it's like crazy or anything. I think it's fine for aggro to have something. The poor
It's a good card.
the poor
but, like,
aggro
yeah, it's not
players have
insane.
been
Yeah. I am a little concerned that if Aatrox goes away, Pirates is maybe really good. But
Is it?
Pirates is so beatable.
I feel like
I don't
They've
think
gotten gutted
yeah.
recently enough that it's not good enough to stand alone at the top.
I don't know if that's necessarily
not
the
gonna be, like-
case because
yeah.
like of how the meta can transition once like Aatrox and like Seraphine is gone, because like FTR decks don't have to be this amalgamation, and like FTR can like beat Pirates again, right? And like
Sure.
the Jinx decks should be favored against Pirates, right? And like we'll see how else the meta shifts, but like yeah, it might be a little bit strong.
Aphelios.
yeah, current
We'll see.
FTR
I
is
mean,
maybe
yeah.
the greediest it's ever been.
It's
Which
just
is
peak,
insane.
but in SI.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
pretty
ran
much.
into that the first time like 2 days ago when someone played double Voices of the Old Ones against me, and I was just like, bro, come on. Like, how are you still alive? You just played 2 of these? I mean, actually, they died the next turn, but but still, they managed to play 2, and they should have lived. I killed them with 3 Blades Edge.
I mean,
Nice.
the was it
Just happens.
Feral
Raven
Mystic?
Bloom
What's
just
the
happens.
Feral Mystic ramp?
I love
Wild
that one.
Mysticism?
Wild Mysticism.
That one you just need a little bit of breathing room, and like if all the other decks that are faster get hit, and you have
Dude.
that,
People said that card was bad on release. The craziest shit.
It's-
like, what
okay.
did people think? The card was gonna get denied, huh? You're gonna deny your 5-mana ramp spell and you're playing FTR? Good one. Okay, but we've been going for a bit over an hour. Do you want to talk about buffs real quick before we wrap up?
Yeah, we can do that.
I have a buff. I have a
Alright,
buff.
start us off, Ash.
Okay.
Anyone else?
The Darkened Fan should go to -1 attack, 0 HP, elusive.
don't say
No.
elusive, please.
No, absolutely not. What
Anyone
the hell
else?
is wrong with you?
It's
Okay.
Oh
it's
my
such a
God.
base buff.
Alright,
You really don't
no,
want that. I'll tell
Hear
you
me
that.
out?
No. That's one of the
Raven Bloom,
It's
Raven Bloom
amazing.
to 10.
Wait, does it still make a Dragon
Raven
Link?
Bloom to 10. How about that?
Raven Bloom doesn't need a buff.
Oh, yeah.
It just needs
Uh,
like Seraphine
yeah, I
to
actu-
not
Yeah.
exist.
Anyone else?
Yeah, after not playing Ravenbloom, actually no. Or after playing some Ravenbloom, I actually think it's
Okay.
fine at 11.
Yeah, I think Raven will start at 11.
Kale needs her level up changed. She needs.
Kale is
think-
definitely
yeah.
getting changed.
Kale just-
I want to see the Kale remove the round end and just see what happens. That's what I want to see.
I don't know what.
No.
Dude, I hate this guy. He just wants to play Mono Kaisen and Rise and Kale. Get him out of here.
This
I
guy
don't
just
know.
wants me to slam
Hey.
Battle Fury on my
It's-
Kale
You
guys-
and flip it, double attack, overwhelm.
You guys,
Look,
Phansora, I'm with
we-
you. Let's
we
play
play
Mono Kaiser.
Battle
Actually,
Fury, and then
let's
we
make
play the
Supercharge 3 mana.
Expanses Protection. 10 mana? Boom.
do you guys think like GP or Crackshot Corsair can get reverted?
I
No.
think maybe GP.
GP
I don't
or-
think it would
no.
be Crackshot Corsair.
GP can't get reverted with spirits.
I don't
No.
think
Why
GP
not?
can either. I think
Spirits
maybe
is a
Monster
card.
Harpoon can.
Harpoon.
No,
Sure,
I don't want Harpoon.
I think
to get
Harpoon
reverted.
possibly
I
can.
think Plunder is like one of the better decks in the game right now, and I don't want to see that deck get buffs. Outside of maybe
I agree.
Crackshot.
But will they like still run
I think
Harpoon
so.
though?
If Harpoon gets
I think so.
reverted, yes. I mean, some lists are already running it right
As
now.
someone like Hash, maybe you can attest to this too. Like we tested a good amount of Plunder for Aegis.
Yes,
If
we
that
did.
deck had Harpoon, I legitimately think it would easily be the best third deck in the game. Like very easily.
Yeah,
Plunders.
Yeah,
Plunders.
yeah,
It would
yeah.
just be like it would be way better than Red Gwen as like the third deck.
yeah. Because it actually reliably beats Red Gwen if you play Harpoon, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, and you
That's
just
fair.
have like interaction for like a key piece of like whatever in other matchups. Like it just kills whatever you need it to in like the Aatrox Demacia matchup. Like it's gonna kill an Aatrox like pre-flip a lot of the time, and just like removing
Wait.
that Aatrox like right away can like buy you the time you need to win the game. Like it's gonna do
Mhm.
so much.
I'm sorry.
Do you think any of the lesser darkened weapons will be
So,
Wanna
wait,
buff
CardGamer.
Aatrox?
Oh, God.
Can you
Oh,
repeat that
God.
last bit
It
again?
needs to be figured out.
Wait, hold on.
What'd you say about Harpoon killing Aatrox?
Make it rain Harpoon kills
Oh, okay.
Aatrox level 1.
Yeah, no, please don't buff any more darkened weapons. Nerf at least
I think
hard.
they might actually like just stick with the Iberos change, maybe the 8 mana thing. I mean,
What?
the text still says it. So
I think it's like
Sure, dude.
remember, Iberos was
I
supposed to
think
be
it's
changed to 8
potentially
mana.
fine to nerf the back halves to certain darken, but they should not touch any of the actual weapon parts.
I cannot
Yeah.
disagree.
I mean, we're
more
just gonna
with
ignore
Art.
do you
Hash's
guys
suggestion
think?
for now, but Fan could be buffed a bit.
What do you guys think about
Oh, Fan can be
reverting-
buffed.
not
Don't give
reverting
Fan
necessarily.
elusive.
I don't think you should just the front have anything.
What do you guys think about Brightstar Protector becoming a 2/2 or a 3/1?
Oh goodness.
No,
About what?
We hate
Sorry?
Demacia.
No
Don't
thanks.
you know?
Bright Steel.
No, leave Brightsteel.
Because I think
as one.
Brightsteel was over nerfed.
I do agree.
I don't
Yeah,
think 2
I think it's fine.
Don't think.
Brightsteel was.
I
No,
don't
actually, I don't
think
think
you'd
it
be
was.
bringing
Brightsteel's
back
back.
any decks really.
I
You'd be
think
surprised.
you'd be surprised at how
Okay.
good a 2/2 Bright Steel is.
Yeah,
I don't think you're bringing
you'd
back
also be surprised
any
at how
decks,
decent Shen
but,
is
like,
currently.
There's a lot of decks that want to play Bright Steel, but they just can't justify it because the unit's absolute garbage.
Okay.
Yeah,
I did almost lose in Aatrox Vayne into Fiora Shen match against Majin on stream. Like, I only won because I YOLO'd.
Oh, I saw
World
that.
Ender,
You
and
played
it
2
worked.
draws for
Yeah.
0 because Aatrox is busted.
Yeah. Well, and my first Aatrox died. I put the weapon on like some shitter and then just threw World Ender out and was like, please don't have Deny or
Right.
Strike, otherwise I lose.
I guess we're talking about buffs, but I was gonna ask about Momentous Choice because that card is very good.
yeah, you can buff it.
I
That's
agree.
cool.
Momentous should give +2 for each side.
No,
Yeah,
you-
but no. But +1 health. You got to balance it out with like twin disciplines,
Yeah.
right?
I
So-
just want let's get
Yeah.
Shapestone back. What else do we want to?
Okay, but like actually,
do-
we
let's do
probably
3/3
shouldn't
twin.
do this one. But I want Merciless on our back.
No, oh my God, no.
4/3?
Merciless is still
I was
good.
thinking about like Sever Akshan, like that kind of archetype should get
The
something back,
idea
I think,
of
with Rally.
Merciless as a 4/3 isn't actually that broken.
I think
but
we
like
should
it
just
is very good.
Wholly step away from 3 mana 3/4s and 3 mana 4/3s. Just get rid of all of them. No more, please.
Like
Control,
the
Just
control,
trying to
three
kill
mana
formidable
4/3
more,
is
huh?
really like fearsome is really just super taxing against removal decks. Like it's not that broken against like it is good against board based decks, but it's like good
Exactly.
in a more fair way, I think, because it's like incentivizing you to use the Merciless as like the drag target. Which like also then adds more decisions to like the Merciless Hunter player of like what they're doing, and it makes Merciless Hunter like a more reasonable like turn 3 player. Like I don't know. I love Merciless Hunter and like playing the play patterns of the card, but like I think it makes the card so much more interesting and like engaging to play with.
Just
give it
is Targon
Hush.
Telstone finally gonna get buffed?
True, buff
No,
Targon
that
Telstone.
card's never gonna get touched.
Dude,
don't even look
no,
at what
but
it
like
is,
you
it's
actually
nothing.
can because you got it Nami.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't want that.
Bastard.
Oh no.
You got second and Mystic
Battlestar.
Shot is broken.
Yeah, I don't know if there's any
Nah.
like super old cards I'd care to get buffed. Like I'd like Viego to be reverted. I don't think he has to be. I think he's actually fine at 6, and people overreacted to his nerf.
I don't think
Like,
Viego can.
He's kind of
I don't think Viego can come back.
He's like kind of slow, but he's not bad. Like I think Mono Viego was toxic as hell, and the fact that I now have to put Kindred in my deck is a good thing. Like,
Sure.
I still get that powerful top end, but I don't have to. I can't just like degen protect Viego forever.
What? Okay, I have one suggestion, and then maybe we'll call it here unless anyone has anything else. But like, what do you think if Hate Spike was 1 mana again, but it only gave the Husk if you like started the game with like Evelyn in your deck? Like,
Oh,
Oh, that's sick. I love that. Actually,
yeah, that's something that can happen. I think one of them, like, I think Hate Spike is a
I think it
good
would still
card,
be a
but what
bit
made it
strong,
like fucked
but-
was the Husk.
I think it would be a bit strong still, but okay enough to test it. You know.
I would rather
the
not
wider
see the
field to
change,
see
but
it.
I'm okay
it
with
would be
it.
very strong.
Yeah, because it would still be
I
like
think
super crazy.
you'd have to
and, like,
very
not
much
as
watch
Yeah,
out
good.
to see what other
I-
decks it enables.
I want to
Yeah.
play
This would be
Nasus
extremely
again.
strong.
Oh yeah, it would be
Yeah.
very,
Yeah,
very.
I wanna
strong,
play that.
but-
Yeah, Evelyn for sure though. Yeah, could use something.
Yeah, I'd like that. There's a lot of like small things, but yeah, I think Kale needs a buff.
Yeah, make her 2 mana.
Mhm.
No. Oh my god, don't touch Evelyn. Please don't. Oh my god, just
Okay.
keep, dude. Husks were a mistake. Like that whole mechanic
Let's
is
just remove
awful.
all
I
the
like,
Husks
What if we just let
except
me
for
pick the
Elusive
Husk?
and Spell Shield? Just like
Dude, I hate this
let's
guy.
cut down the RNG Santa.
Yeah, Bandletree should be
And we
3
just
mana,
have
I'm just saying
Elusive and
now.
Spell Shield.
I want it on
That's it.
record.
Oh
No, just make it 3 mana. So that
Alright.
way it
Oh,
curves
reverse
into
Bandletree,
timelines.
actually.
Yeah. Okay. With that, I think we'll end it there. Yeah. Make 3 mana Bandletree and revert it.
Oh, yeah, that's
Revert the
good.
text and
I'll
make
play
it 3
mono
mana.
Start
I
a
think
game,
we'll end it
summon a
there.
Bandletree.
God. Start a game,
Yeah,
summon a
yeah.
If
Bandletree.
all your cards are Bandle, start a game, summon a Bandletree.
Okay, that's actually
That'd be
pretty
really
cute.
cool though.
Would that even be good?
So, no, the problem is
I think
you-
that'd be bad.
It'd probably
right?
bad. Look, you can't play with Jax because that's the funny thing to do with Bandletree. You play with Jax,
Oh, that's so funny.
but yeah.
No, I'm here for it. No. We're changing Bandletree now.
Okay.
We're good. We'll put up Ryan.
Well, join us next time as we go over the Bandletree buffs. Thank you guys for coming to another episode of Squadcast this time in the new year. I was your host, CardGamer, our special guest, Hash, and then the usual suspects, Phansora, Shadawx, Santa. We'll catch you guys
Thanks for
next time.
having me.